Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Wednesday, by the way. And of course, the Blossom Array is available. I thought this was next week, but no, it's this week. So the Charizard one is next week, from what it seems. And I believe the Charizard one's it's the same ones from like the beginning of the game. So yeah. But we're all set up. I've already got the raid all prepped up. The Vaporeon is essentially the same as the one we used last time. No real change, except to add fake tears instead of his. So how about for funsies, let's try to do this with randoms, and then if we clear fast enough, we will move into Apollo Justice. And I've double checked. My one is here. Apparently I was a little bit further away than I thought, but that's fine. I still have to catch the remaining life size in this, but we'll get to that in due time. You just Apollo Justice is kind of getting tired right now because that's a long game. The trilogy is quite long. Let's see if people want to join. Clear fast enough. Oh wow. And we're gonna stick the Vaporeon. Oh, full squad. There goes up on one. Okay, someone's going with Hariyama, someone's going with Scarlet, and the third is going with... Come on. In the round somewhere, we'll just go solo. Getting. Getting. Hey more. No, it's not hey more. Why am I rigging this name? Then use a steam engine. Gotta check that now. It was Urshifu. Oh, never mind. It escapes me. It escapes me. Either way, I'll do what I do, but let's see what these guys can do. They can survive long, we'll be good. Then punch. Mystic Fire. Afternoon cheese, November day. It appears no one has fought. Nobody has fought what to do. They all want visit. What? I know. We'll see. These guys. Oh, I'm a +3. These guys really are just brute forcing their way. I mean, I did need the healing, man. Ah, they really are just... Guess I'll start attacking. Okay, look at the amount of damage they've done. Okay, minus that. Now let's see the damage I'm going to deal. You just all need to survive. Let me do my job. Alright. I suppose they were actually holding on. There's negative dash from self. About the... Oh. Oh, never mind. We're good. Wait, no, it's gonna use Rin. That's right before I do my thing. Oh, never mind. It appears I did the damage before that happened. Wait, wasn't it meant to, like... I'm resetting this up. Apparently we skipped. We skipped the reset on our end. Well, no, it's time-based, right? Is it? Resets players 60% of the time. Oh, we have time. No! Let's set up again. I think just doing... I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, just do this. Let's just take full advantage of the sunny day right now. We're kind of chilling. Just as long as the others don't fall, we're fine. Alright. Yeah, we're coming. Road day's going well. Oh, now he's all dropping like... He's maybe dropping like flies. Don't worry, I pick up the pace. He was confused. Done. Yes, I'll be streaming the apologist. I'll be just streaming the trilogy after this, yeah. In fact, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna get it all set up now. So again, that was not expect. For a bunch of randoms, that wasn't too bad of a run. That was not too bad of a run. Although I'd like to see how it'd be interesting if you had a full team of Vaporeons doing this. Free Hyper Mystica! Nice! If we ever do shiny hunting again, well, we have Hyper Mystica now. Right, let's just put it into the box, and I'm going to save, and I'm going to swap it over to all this disconnect. Right. I'm gonna get things changed. I'm gonna shift over to apologize, so I shouldn't be too long. Be back in a bit. Alright, we're all good. So I guess we'll do the usual stuff of recapping what we did. So we just started the second trial, the Monsters Turnabout, and we started a little bit in the trial. We basically just got to see our prosecutor. I forgot to change this. It's fine. So we got this. So we're about to cross Simon Fulbright and 14 our prosecutor, Simon Blackwell. Let's get on to our cross-examination stuff. Okay. I was right. So, yeah. All right. So, Aldo and QB had been slipped in some kind of sleep. Sorry, had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug. So, yeah. Did a good bit of this hard. So, my apologies on that one. That's right. The accused was scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. Here's the autopsy report at the guard. According to death, stabbed with a spear. Estimate time of death around 2:30 or 3:20 p.m. Victim had been in a drug-induced slumber. And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear? That sounds almost subhuman. Is that even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him.
Objection!
Not so fast. Don't try to brush it off. Brush it off by saying that the alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like a samurai of yore, wrestlers can bow for intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former pro wrestler I met in the clink. I don't know. Still sounds a little far-fetched. Does it not? Then perhaps we should test the fear on you with the edge of my blade. I didn't sign up for this! And so your life is spared. For now. Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. my investigations are as far as they are foolproof. My name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. The accused prints were on the weapon. And he's the one person with an alibi. Quite decisive evidence. Wouldn't you agree? Your baldness. The defendant is sounding guilty about a minute. He has to be judged. He has the judge leaning towards a guilty verdict. And the trial's just barely begun. What's more, I hear a rumor about the accusers making the rounds. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Tamataro from its imprisonment. Truth be told, I can think of no other reason but to show interest in that backwater blog. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the alderman. Here's a strange one, alright. I hear you went on a blood drive, but instead I couldn't finish that. Yeah, I heard he went for a blood drive, but instead, he tried to make a withdrawal. Order! There'll be no gossiping in my court. Your baldness. Please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. And here that meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tamatoro. And again, perhaps he's already under the demon's spell. Behold, the lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment. The rumors and quirks of Maritama have no relevance to this case. Besides, the charms in his head, they're just a fashion statement. I think. On the thing, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they? The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation for the mud. Oh, what a dreadful, fearsome lads we have here. Oof, thanks for that lifeline, Avina. Careful, Apollo! He has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand! The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackpool's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impression to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news. In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself, despite being impaled. Also, a weapon to use against this attacker? None other than this statue right here. It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokai to be exact. On one side is the nine-tailed fox, and on the other, Tamataro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this fairy kiss was rendered an art. Updated, okay. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Alright. Well, I should save on new pal. Hold it! So those weapons on the wall of the Fox Chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous? No matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it would be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. Ah! It's gotta be a no-wife steal. The alderman has pure, unadulterated justice flowing through his veins. Whatever he did, he did it right. We lost a real champion of justice in his death. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash, if you ask me. Stop your berating and tell us about the weapon. Your wish is my command. Hold it. It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Prince could easily be wiped off. You have a point there. I venture to say he did not wipe off the pinch because he could not. What do you mean? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, just stand there. Show him who's boss. I'm totally lost. Why don't you tell me the answer already? I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feeling alright, kid? Running the fever, perhaps? I wish trials came with a reset button. Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Yep. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. Hold it! Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was this adhesive in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over on the inside of the cup. And that is why he was like cold. That is until he leaped to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. What an awful way to wake up. A rather stimulating eye-opener, if you ask me. I too would have risen to the attack. For to die in battle is the samurai way. Paradise awaits fallen heroes. But that hole in the stomach would make eating a challenge. Oscar Blackwell, please! Those morbid jokes of yours have no place in this courtroom. Says the jester in the detective's guise. Moving right along. Hold it. So the Alderman was struck because he was really strong. Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? I'm surprised the spear even managed to pierce that arm for like muscular. Reading. I admit, I'm completely jealous of that righteous buddy of his. Well, he did look pretty buff. Even the city had on. Quite the difference when compared with a yellow belly like you. Yellow belly? Who even says that anymore? Yeah. And the color's all wrong too. You know. How about squishy red tomato? I'm going to strike both of your comments from the record. The justice character is not the issue here. Let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular Alderman was impaled. Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. Hold it! Did he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Absolutely! Not at all. He was once a pro wrestler. He insisted on being drugged, then speared with the answer of a righteous counterattack. But does being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman? Absolutely! Not at all. He was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need. Objection! You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. Setting aside the half-wit's flight of fantasy, the fact is this. The court order post-mortem concluded the victim moved after his fury. So we found the strength to somehow to attack his attacker. Detective Fulbright says when he sounds airtight. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. But just to poke some holes in it. The part about Alderman fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. Alright. Yeah, that's the one. Alright. I mean, that one feels obvious. Did the Alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the Alderman struck back after the mayor put the spear for him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's see what the defense thinks is all about the... Let's hear what the defense thinks is all about the defendant's statue theory. There are no fingerprints. There are no fingerprints on a supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you notice that the Alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he's quite gloveless indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, did you? Ah, this can't be happening. Did I arrest the wrong man? You did it, Apollo. You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the Alderman? Well, if it wasn't the Alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You think? You mean there was a third party there in the Fox chamber? Exactly. And this could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecutor's argument. Mr. Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind's as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dunno. Justice... I don't know? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. It will take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You may recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting on? Own your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. An illusion. Now let's see. Why was that cloth used? Was it used? I'm gonna save. Maybe the Alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth? In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used the strike back at the mayor. Ah! Precisely. Bully for you, boy. In fact, we had to point at the argument. It was nothing. Apollo! Don't let him start manipulating you too! You just closed the hole for the prosecution! I did? Ugh! I did! Right. That statue you wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the Alderman striking back. Oops. Arg! Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particular frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. I'm alright. Sounds more like a homicide maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. The inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kind of attached to that whole... I won. Hello? I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statues, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? I didn't think of that! Anyone could have not left prints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please, illumine us with your wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer. The real killer! Prove the existence of this real killer then. With evidence have you? Sorry, what evidence have you? Oh, I'll give you evidence, alright. Tina, you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo? I'm fine. Take a look at this. For saving. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that element? That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Objection!
No, Athena! You just lost what little credibility we had left. Ah! Sorry. Guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's well, a kid. Ouch. You meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. So, is this court to believe that the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? The Justice, you seem as noticed as your partner is. Ouch. This, I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Albright. Explain to us, baldness, what these rats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. Ah! You mean... Yeah, you mean you can explain all that? Ha! Our investigating prowess is without equal! I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. Farewell! Let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers of tracks. Feathers and tracks. Our entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition from a merger. Mayor Tama panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the village's fears by fabricating a monster. These strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. Those feathers and tracks stoked the village's fears? Absolutely! He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only give way to the idea that the other one was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tamataro, that is. Tama-who? Tamataro. The legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black feathered demon. And thus they were blinded to utter or more plausible explanations.
Hold it!
Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? To justice? Please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. On this part of the event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tamotaro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection!
Dullard, you're playing right into the healer's mind games. What? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Tamotaro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tamotaro suit is the killer. The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus, our mentally deficient mayor was called red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Do you honestly believe Mayor Tama would do something so stupid?
Objection!
The evidence speaks for itself. Alright. Right! It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Nine Seals were fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocents. Impressionable minds. Just so, a particular silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say! Was this inmate a colonist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually feel sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Yes, well... Now the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Oh.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright. Is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely! They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Maritama!" And just the other day, they stormed Temis City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. But when the accused showed his fists, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokais are no match for Tamotaro, the dark lord of their kind. Wait, are the villagers scared of Maritama or Tamotaro? Maritama or Tamotaro? I'm confused. I think he means Maritama. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. Dr. Fulbright, what do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act?
Hold it!
The amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? That's right! He was a lone wolf, and in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, beating one Tamatown wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was a champion! Like the samurai of yore surrounding thick of enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tamatown Pro Wrestling. He was amazing! If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him! I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday! I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with the prosecutor Blackwell. A police detective and a prisoner in chains. No, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. So you do understand the greatness that is the Amazing Nine Tails.
Hold it!
Did the murder and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect! The presumed return of the dreaded Tamataro had them shaking in their boots! Oh my! Is it really that bad? That superstitious lot. As if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. You see, there could only be one reason why anyone would plant those feathers in tracks.
Hold it!
But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence and stoked the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So your honor agrees there was no reason for murder, correct?
Objection!
Perhaps a killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? I don't like the sound of that. Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman QB's secret identity. Apollo? I think Prosecutor Blackwell has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the Amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my! But why would have been there? Victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? Well, oh! Could it really be? Your bonus has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Raskubi, was the Amazing Ninetales. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. No! Order! A shocking development! A motive clearer than crystal clear! What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they tied the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last we reached my wheel point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest? Your boldness? I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other person just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement, sir. There is too toughy. Your boldness. Right, now take a look at this. Look at that. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales fail with Tematown. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman Kirby's pocket. What? At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening his life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent the mayor Tema go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder? And planted it into the Alderman's pocket? It's possible. We don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talk about being up a creek without a paddle. A letter out of the court record. A threatening letter discovered in one of the Alderman's pockets. Temo would have made a clean getaway if he had just left after planting the yokai thing. Then he was knocked out cold by a sudden decision to kill the Amazing Ninetales. So it was the Amazing Ninetales counterattack that brought the entire case to light. Wait a second. What about claiming that the mayor killed the Alderman after planting the yokai evidence? And that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that? Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Mayor Tema killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers and tracks.
Hold it!
So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after? Absolutely. And then he was knocked out cold by the alderman's last punch. He wouldn't have a chance to plant the evidence after that. Something's not right here. I have to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could have been behind such a stunt. Urgh. You have to do something, Apollo. We're depending all on the mayor. And we're going to need to prove that the mayor Tama didn't plant that yokai stuff. How am I supposed to do that? This is definitely a new statement. And so Mayor Tama killed the sleeping after. Let's try this.
Objection!
Oh, hey, God. Alright. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What's this? You dare question my justice again? Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. This is a crime scene photo. And what does this prove? It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. But I already told you, they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence and then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene. The feathers themselves.
Take that!
Aren't you just pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice? Yes. See how the feathers are on top of the blood, and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman. But you said it yourself. The mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else beside the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene. There must be some mistake. Hold on! Hold on! Where's your evidence? Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Ha 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 ha! Evidence? Why have evidence? In fact, I have an eyewitness testimony for you. Really? You do? But how? Was my faulted sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this real hard. Mr. Justice? What is this testimony regarding the third party that you claim to have? I have it right here, Your Honor. It is a sworn testimony of Mr. Tama's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tama, saw yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon Tamatoro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. Will somebody please say something? The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means. You dare to mock this court and justice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy! Your baldness. The appearance of the defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion.
Hold it!
Hello? Take us a bean, quick, before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out. Everyone wants justice. I'm all ears. But you had better explain yourself well. What was this yokai you were talking about? It's all in the statement here. Jinxie Tama asserts that she saw Tamatoro. After she observed the crime scene and called the police, she came around a corner in the hall, and it was around here that she saw Tamatoro fleeing towards the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. What? How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard of this about this before? The defense just proved that there was someone there. Where isn't the killer? It's all a setup. The prosecutor is a convicted felon after all. Hello! The momentum has shifted in our favor! Good. Now let's keep it that way.
Objection!
Little do you realize that though you're in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled towards the fire, that fool and that flop would have seen him. Fool and flop? Oh, you mean Finch and LaBelle. Now that you mention it, both Finch and Florence LaBelle were in the foyer at the time. But they haven't stated that they saw yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a Scarlet little girl's imagination? Why didn't those who see the Tamatoro impersonator pass by? Why don't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say it myself. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Finch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I know he must have seen something. I just know he must have seen. I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she's a monster. Just you have no objections to Mr. Justice's request, Prosecutor Blackwell?
I understand that Mr. Finch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby.
I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. But when we captured him, didn't think he ended up a witness. Do with him as you will. Did he just say capture? Oh wait, I don't want to know.
Very well then, Meredith! He's gonna wake Mr. Finch and escort him to the witness stand.
Oh, it's taking a while to show off some Blackwell's other stuff.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
I know I moved the place, but it's still there. The name is Finch. Phyllis Finch. Caretaker of QB Manor. Philip Finch, sorry. Oh, this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like.
Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes! And your honor will do fine, Mr. Finch.
Ah! It's those shoes again. I know. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? He snatched those shoes again? Don't tell me Finch stole them again. They're all yours, your honor, sir. Ship, sir?
What? They seem awfully expensive.
Yep, too expensive for me. But I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like your honorship.
It's a kind gesture. Legal ethics dictate that I can't accept such gifts.
Aw, epic schmeffics. Just take them if you want them. Polish them up real nice for you too.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Finch. I will accept your testimony. But would like to hear or whether you saw Tamataro in the foyer after the murder.
Guarding the foyer. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked. I was making sure no one, foul, fishy or otherwise, could get to our guest. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 PM. But I didn't see nothing in the ordinary. No, sir. That yokai you keep jabbing all about. Well, it's about a phantom of a little girl's dreams. So, you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Tamataro? Yep. Was guarding the whole time. That's the truth, the holy truth, and nothing but the truth. And Tamataro? Bah. You don't really believe that yokai mumbo jumbo, do you? I certainly don't. Huh? My bracelet. It's... something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. Really? So you think Mr. Finch has been lying to us? I wouldn't rule it out. Nah, I could just zero in on a tail. Some sort of nervous habit. Ah! What in the... what is a hawk doing in here? Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you know, in jail. Who ever heard of a courthouse bird? Taka simply loathes trickery and fraud. And that queer power of yours seems to have offended my dear Blossom Buzzard. This isn't some sort of trick or... Ah! I won't be able to spot squat like this! What the heck is going on right here? Run for the hills!
No pets or other animals allowed in the courthouse! Somebody help!
Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you. Safe and truly famished.
In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, you ensure your fettered friend is properly fed.
Looks like we have to do this one the old-fashioned way. We'll be fine. I think. There's someone dressed as Tamataro over there. Mr. Fitch should have seen them. We'll just have to put our faith in Jinxie's statement for now.
Mr. Justice, please receive your cross-examination.
And yes, Blackwell has a bird friend called Taka, and I will not. It's probably going to be the only one I won't have a proper reaction to. Here for the bird.
Hold it!
Mr. Finch, why did Alderman QB have you handle guard duty? Because he trusts me. I am the manor's caretaker after all. So you took said guard duty seriously? Let me tell you something about me. Yikes! Listen here, you little tanuki. Get straight to the point and be quick about it. The court wishes to hear what you did or didn't see in the fire, and not else. Yes, of course, sir. Right away, sir. Blackwell's got him completely under his thumb. Like I said, I was guarding the fire entrance that day.
Hold it!
So no one could get to him? Sounds like security was pretty tight. That's cause there's always lots of sneaks and thieves around festival time. And the solution was to entrust the mascot security to a thief? That's not even funny. Maybe it's a matter of stopping thieves by hiring one. After all, it takes one to know one. I don't know. It seems more like letting the fox guard the hen house to me.
So the witness testified that he took his guard duty seriously.
Yes, sir, your honorship, sir.
Hold it!
Did you really keep an eye on the foiler the entire time? Poor old Finchy. Been working hard my whole life. Only to be smeared by some greenhorn in his fancy suit and silly haircut. Ah! Sorry, Mr. Blackwell. Didn't mean to get off subject here. Yeesh. Blackwell didn't even say anything. To answer your question, yes, I kept an eye. No, both of them, in fact, on the fire.
Hold it!
Okay, could you describe to the court who you would consider fishy looking? Someone all fishy and shifty like. You know, like they're about to steal something. He's just described himself. I wonder why Mr. Finch didn't see Tamataro. Maybe Jinxie only thinks she saw Tamataro, or maybe Mr. Finch is lying. If he's lying, we might be able to spot a contradiction in his testimony. Alright. I think I know what to do.
Objection!
Yep. All as much. Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Finch. Hey, it ain't right to bushwhack a fellow like that. Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that there was a time. Sorry, you'll see that at the time of the crime, sorry. There was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you never miss. I didn't want someone. No, sir. I was doing my job, just like I was supposed to. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Finch, someone circled the match. Even circled the match. It was you, right? Yikes! Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." Yarr! So, do you admit to slacking off? You can't
can't check me with your really poo lawyer talk.
I'm one of them professional types too. I can do double duty, watching TV and the foyer at the same time. The only thing Miss Finch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief.
Mr. Justice, you're going to have this court believe the witness was slacking off?
That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV and the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bald-faced lie.
What would you say? And I'm not the one lying. Who's lying? Perhaps you mean the witness, Mr. Justice? And in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Finch was lying about watching TV and the foyer simultaneously? I'll prove it.
With this diagram. Please take a look at the direction the TV is facing in this diagram. Now, unless Mr. Finch has eyes where its right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance on the TV at the same time.
Why, yes! Watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance. Sorry, somebody watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance.
Exactly. And that means Mr. Finch, you were slacking off and we're not watching the foyer as you claim. Yikes! Back to the cut. I mean the other way around. It's not a box.
Order! 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 Mr. Justice! Is Mr. Finch less than stellar worth ethics related to this case?
It's very relevant, because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Tamatoru impersonator in the foyer.
Objection!
What now? Granted, this Snooky was lax in his duty, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? This. I'm not a mind reader. Other auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki? They were. I mean, yes. Yes, they were. But you already admit to slacking off. Now you say you weren't? My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer. You see, the foyer floor and the doorway get all those creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Creak, creak, creak. Not enough to wake the dead, I reckon. So, you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by? Huh, I never even knew of that. That is fitting. Yep, my ears weren't working full time, so who's the liar now? You know, good shyster. A lying thief calling me a shyster? This has to be the low point of my fletching career. Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackwell, sir. You really are something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing. And the bags under your eyes? They're darker than mine. Fair warning, Mr. Finch. Taka is particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu. Yikes! Please don't need me, Mr. Taka, sir.
The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful bird attacks.
I think this is the first. The witness being threatened with a bird attack.
And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly.
Years working overtime. It's true, I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor door's all creaky squeaky light. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no Tamatoru in the foyer. Superstition is the religion of the feeble mind. Understand? A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokais, demons, and such. You must use common sense. Or lacking that, our entire world would be put upside down. Yes, a convicted prosecutor who's totally inside of the end times of the legal world. Besides, if there are any yokais roaming around, I nab them and sell them in the sea. I wonder what ever Jinxie was just seeing things. Jinxie was just seeing things. That seems to be the general consensus, sorry. But I'm sticking to my guns. But if we can't prove she saw Tamataro, the mayor's sure to be convicted. And we better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs.
The defense may cross-summon the witness!
Alright.
Hold it!
Well, the usual here. You are paid for your work, aren't you? How'd you justify watching TV on the job? But it needs to be me. I mean, I can't watch TV when we have visitors and there's no way to record stuff. Sorry, am I supposed to be consulting you over your first world problems? Those are his only problems? He should consider himself lucky. Guess pro wrestling's serious business to Mr. Finch.
Hold it!
You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you? Oh, not? Ain't no harm in bending the truth a little, right? Listen to me, you little tanuki. Lie again and Taka shall feast upon that forked tongue of yours. Yikes! Sorry, just let me keep my tongue. At least leave it until we get the truth out of him, in any case. You were neglectful in your duties, were you not? Yes, sir, I was, sir. But it ain't like that.
Hold it!
So you have pretty good ears, Mr. Finch? As good as they come, I say. Ain't nothing to hear or creaky floor. Plus, that Tamataro makes a sound when he goes by. Like a jingle jingle. Jangle. Jingle jangle? How does he do that? It's that stuff of his. That's what jingle jangles. What's he talking about, Apollo? It's me. I guess Tamataro has a staff that makes noise. Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Tamataro holding a staff-like object that make a jangly sound. I guess that's the source of noise then.
Oh, Mr. Justice!
Okay, Mr. Finn says Tamataro jingle jang. Would you consider that final? Yes, very important. Extremely final. I request that it be added to this testimony. If Tamataro were to pass by, his staff would have gone jingle jangle.
Hold it!
So Tamataro's staff makes a distinctive sound? Yep, like a jingle and a jangle. Weird. Jinx says something like that. What about Tamataro making a jangly sound? I think we're missing something here. I can't quite put my finger on it. Perhaps just take a look at the corpse again.
Hold it!
Alright, we'll finish this part and then we'll go back to Please tell the court, what did Jinxie see if it wasn't not Tamataro? She is always going about seeing this yokai or that. Just an act of imagination, you reckon? He won't even come near me because she thinks I'm some sort of tanuki monster. Can't say I blame her. So, Mr. Finch, you chalk up to a child's act of imagination? Yep, no Tamataro or anyone else got in or out of keeping manner on my watch. Although, what could this mean? You think Jinxie could have just seen, was just seeing things? Well, if that's the case, the details she provided were extremely impressive. But if we were to continue believing Jinxie's statement, we have to uncover Finch's lie. Right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. Alright. Well, I think I know this one.
Objection!
Yep, that was accurate. I was always thinking about that one. Tamataro's staff would make a jangly sound, you say? Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up.
Is there something the defense would like to share with the court?
Mr. Finch, you said that you didn't see Tamataro on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Tamataro would be holding a staff? Huh? You see, the Tamataro Jinxie saw held a staff in his hand. And she described it sounding like you did. As a kind of jangy sound. Yeah, but he was on the staff. What's your point?
Objection!
The point is that Tamataro doesn't use a staff. Not normally. What are you talking about? You see, this is the only known document of depicting Tamataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Finch?
You're right! There's no staff. Not even a cane or a walking stick. So the question is, why does the witness think Tamataro uses the staff?
I believe the answer will overturn the prosecutor's case on the most basic level. Well, now, this is getting interesting.
Alright, Mr. Justice. Time to show the court where you're going with this.
I'm gonna see, because I feel like we're gonna have to do something.
So the court why Mr. Finch believes Tamataro carries his stuff.
Who's it? Mr. Finch actually saw Tamataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could possibly know about the stuff. Busted again!
Bloody hell!
Dubious little. Yeah, how does that feel, Blackwell? Not so funny when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? I mean, Mr. Finch. You did see Tamataro that day, didn't you? Well? I'm begging ya. Please don't make me say it. But clearly you did see Tamataro. Sorry. Stop stalling and testify to that fact. No can do. No way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. Hey? Mr. Finch still won't admit to seeing Tamataro? Even though everyone knows he did? The question now is, why? Mr. Finch is scared to death. Is that why I can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. They say you must not gaze upon Tamataro. But in the events that you do, look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Tamataro will claim your soul. JC wouldn't admit to seeing Tamataro after hearing about the village superstition. She said that if she told anyone that she had seen Tamataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait, you think Finch believes that too? So Mr. Big Time City Slicker Lawyer, has heard about him? Them of village superstitions?
Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about?
The people in Ninetales Field believe some pretty strange things. And their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Tamataro. Darn straight, that's why! It's all right here. The superstitions. Do not gaze upon Tamataro. Do not tell others you see him. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. There is a higher one way to save it. Your immediate departure from the village. Freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. Ignoring the superstition will cost your soul. See? That's why folks in Ninetales Field can't talk about seeing Tamataro. Those superstitions add to the record. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstition by wearing Tamataro's costume. They knew that way no one could talk about him. So if it were as he... Sorry. So as it was as if he never assisted. The defense proves this Tamataro impersonator is the true killer. What?
Objection!
Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale could so easily expose the culprit? Okay. Okay, you need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection!
Oh shit. Okay, but now your common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackwell.
Objection!
Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstition in the clink, but few are those who truly believe in them.
Objection!
Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetales Field. A life or death superstition might even make you a believer. Ah! Maybe it's gonna show them.
Order! Order, I say!
Fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now your lies have cost me. Sorry. I promise not to do it again. Taka, my fine feather friend, have at him! Yikes! Gonna eat me alive! Head for the hills! Ah! He took off.
Enough! What are you waiting for? After him! With your fastest man!
Yeah. That's certainly not something you see every day.
Oh, but seem a new and important fact has come to light. A third party in sky says the yokai Tamataro was at the scene. And then we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Oh. What? Huh? Ah! His shackles! Ah! I'm too young to die! Justice, Dono. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. He's had best say your prayers.
Detective, do something!
Have no fear, Fulbright is here!
When the going is tough, the champion justice gets going!
Objection!
Then get going already! Before he kills us! Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackwell! Or is a sense of justice that sets him free?
Objection! Objection! I object to Detective Fulbright's definition of justice! Yeah.
Silence.
I'm not in the habit of cutting down on armed cowards.
Oh, well, in that case, Mr. Godcool, can I ask you to, you know...
I think the judge forgot he's in charge here. So, Justice Stono's assertion is this. Tamataro was the real killer, not Mayor Tama. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Yep. Or his title is Twisted Samurai. I'm pretty sure that's just nails him down. Right, and that yokai, or rather, whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman Kyubi. Remember what I said? Big clever goblin, except the complete opposite.
Silence.
Ah! Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai Dur in the Fox Chamber? What? He's right. He said nothing about Tamataro being in the Fox Chamber. Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. And your point is... On opening the door, she found her freshly skewered victim, the Alderman. And this homicide maniac who had killed him, the Mayor. Oh, there must be someone dressed as Ah! Then, why does that little scum claim not to have seen a yokai in the Fox Chamber?
Consider her father is accused of murder. Surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room.
I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tamataro inside the Fox Chamber? There is but one way to find out. Ask Jinxie Tama whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long has my blade thirst for blood. At long last, it shall be sated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? Show me what you're truly capable of. Justice Stono!
Very well then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... Ah!
3 minutes.
I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess.
Just so. Plenty of time if your destination is in the loo. Oh, sorry, if your intent is the loo.
Hello? You mean the bathroom?
Sheesh. At least include enough time to wash your hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished.
Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins.
I declare Prosecutor Blackwell the winner of this round of Simon Says. Doesn't bode well for us that the prosecutor is running the show, does it? April 18th, 10:40 a.m., District Court, defendant lobby number 3. He busted out of his shackles. Yeah, what's all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You really brought out the samurai in him. Especially after you proved there was a Tamataro person here at the manor. What's with that guy and the whole samurai act anyway? Such fine swordsmanship. That's just no mere act. So Justice, it's high time I call this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel. No, wait! Let's save the duel until after the repeat of innocence? I suppose we could wait till later. I remember we're conducting a trial here. Yes, the trial is literally gone off the deep end. Athena, I'm gonna go wash up. Remember what Blackwell said, Apollo. Don't be late. April 18th, 10:43 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby, courtroom number 4, sorry.
And then I believe our next witness is Mince Jinxie Temma, a maid at QB Manor. I believe we can prove now, if the witness is ready, that is.
Narayan, leader of the 100 demons, he really does assist. Wow. That is one well-polished tray.
The witness will show up baseball in court. Her testimony will be admissible. Inadmissible. Hey! What is it, my child?
Go on there. Herodon, leader of the 100 demons.
Ho! You got a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the Mar! The demon of due process, if you will.
My charm has no effect. The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one. Nah, you little scamp. Yes? I trust you know why you're here. Bags. Bags? Oh, that tricks you, Tanuki. Try the noodle stand. Go enjoy a big show of Tanuki tail noodles while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian. No, I mean your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this trauma keeper. Asukarai away. Asukarai? The yokai that washes Asuki beans? The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off. Asukarai often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Looks like Prosecutor Blackwell's got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone. But the cutter? These two are just plain creepy.
For testimony, if you please, Miss Temma. Specifically, whether or not you saw Temma Taro when you discovered the crime scene.
Okay. One Jesus up. Did I see Tamataro in the box chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw, yes, now I remember. Alright. Yokai, right there in that room. Okay. So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-huh. Lots and lots of them. Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tamataro happen to be among them? I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Tasha, Narakabi, Satotashu. Yeah, they were all there.
Oh, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from yokai to a flood of them.
This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony. Ah!
Hold it!
Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With this course promotion, of course.
What a fabulous idea! Please proceed, Miss Sykes!
You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene and fear of testifying has her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. By my analytical psychology-based approach, she'd be able to help.
Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Do we let Miss Sykes proceed?
It makes no difference. It's to me. Do what you will. I doubt we should get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. I'll show you. Time for the Moon Matrix. Did I see Tamataro in the Fox Chamber? When I opened the door, I saw. Yes, now I remember. Yokai, right there in the room. I found something. Looks like an out of control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this? It's one of Witch's functions. Right here, you can see images and emotions distracted from the witness's voice. Like, whoa, you mean that Loving can do all this? Pretty cool, huh? Here I thought it was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflowing error right now. See how sad it's brightly lit there in the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her in a confused mess. Right there in the room. See all those yokai she thinks she saw? Sorry, so all these yokai she thinks she saw are a product of rampant emotions? Yes, that's right. Her fear has instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal day objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinx's case is fear. She was, and still is, seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We have to find the root cause of extreme fear before I can treat it. And let's see. Hello, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? He seems particularly terrified of that one. Start pressing probe. Ellen. Next, point out what causes Jinx's emotions. Jinx's out of control emotions. And hit probe again to try and get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try.
Got it.
So yeah, this is the other thing of the Moon Matrix. Is not only I need to detect things. If it goes out of control, we need to find the source core point of it, and then we can do the rest. What we're again. JC, what's the name of that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet he came to steal the aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly. It's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo! You need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I know the answer now. JC, It wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha?
Take that!
So, this light fixture. Light fixture? Yes, this one right here. It has a flame design and it's up there on the ceiling. There was never yokai on the Wheel of Fire. The Kaji show was just a light fixture. Eek. Oh yeah, right. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now you've got the hang of it. It should be a cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster? That's not a copy. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. Eek. This raccoon dog isn't a Tanigga monster. It's just a statue of one. Eek. And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here is nothing more than a fox statue. Eek. I don't know what I was thinking. You did it, Apollo! Your extreme fear is under control now! It was all just my eyes playing tricks with me? There weren't any yokai at all? See? A clear-cut statement. That's the power by psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the fox chamber. Right. There never really were any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertment. Wait. Jinxie, what about Tamataro? There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tamataro or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now. You've gotta be joking!
Order! Order on the court!
I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. No! No! Apollo! Can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. Alright. They give everything that fell to the floor. Fox Humor. The alderman dead on the table, and Papa collapsed in the chair. And no one else was there, including Tamataro. Okay. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Try to find the motion that contradicts your statement. Okay, so if I find contradictory statement, should I point it out? That's right. It's not just contradictory motions you should look after. You also keep an eye for a sudden change in motion's intensity. Her emotions might be getting stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement. It's important to compare how the same emotions change throughout the testimony. Contradictory emotions and changes in changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Alright, we're gonna try this now.
Got it!
The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs having given out from fright. Could something not lessen your fears? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment. You did? Where did it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me. Okay, I'll enter sudden burst of courage. Now let's see. Ah, look! Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. It's still 0%. Bye-bye. A sudden burst of courage? Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but, I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. No idea what could have given Jinxie that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like that at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this?
Take that!
Right. Could it have been this? Oh, that's not encouraging. It seemed to produce confusion rather than courage. Because I got this one wrong. At first you didn't say it, you know the rest, Apollo. Oh yeah, right. Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a Ninetales flower there at the scene, did you? Forgot about that. Ah! The demon lawyer strikes again! I can't take anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tailed flower on it. I liked it so much, I kept it. You what? Can't remove evidence from a crime scene.
That's right, young lady! Removing evidence is a big no-no! Now, the witness will produce that evidence this instant!
Sorry.
It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh look! Something slid out! It appears to be a key!
Might I have a look, your boldness? Ah. This is no other than the master key to QB Manor.
Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackquill?
It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little more melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is, until Jinxie Tama. Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, until Jinxie Tama opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. And there was no one else in there, save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. The killer, a killer other Maritama himself, would have been utterly inconveniable. I'm doing well, so thanks for asking. Let's hope the rest of the day goes How did I regret? Yeah, the rest of the day goes well for you as well.
Objection!
How could this happen? Right. Poor Fina.
The defense's assistant will refrain from growling her frustration.
It's going well. I think we're close to the end of this part. I can't remember how far we have left in this section. Athena, are you alright? I know Maritam is innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks. Sykes don't know. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great. Nice playing Simon Says of us. Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. I cannot decide on my favorite prosecutor. I do like Blackwell. I said I do remember Blackwell, like the endpoint for Blackwell's story and whatnot. So I just, yeah. Without spoiling, I will say my least favorite prosecutor is in the sixth one. I don't want to spoil that for people. Don't fall for our tricks. I do. Obviously, I'm going back to seeing those also. I'm just seeing everything come to the end. Like, it's enjoyable seeing Blackwell now. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to explain it for reasons, but we'll cover that prosecutor when the time comes. I am the one who's dazed and confused. Can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared if your conscience is cleansed. Yeah. Again, I don't want to spoil, so. Okay. Alright, I'm ready. I'm gonna Athena! Alright, I'll be back in objection. Save me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo? Mr. Justice? I hear the word objection, but what is it you object to? Huh? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. Oh yeah, I can see why I see why Blackwell's like favorable, like one of the favorite prosecutors. I think when I was on, like the three prosecutors I think everyone likes a lot of is Edgeworth, Blackwell, and Godot. Although the Reaper's not a bad one too. Oh, I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena.
Where's way, Mr. Justice? Though as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect, if that's it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecutor's case?
Library classes. Ah. I could totally see that, yeah. Library is pretty much a clean attorney. For Francesca's got a personality that has thousands of lashes, but like they'll start that they can deal with 1,000 lashes, but I can see why people like her. True, I guess you can always play the game how many times you can say fools. Right. Well, actually, I do. Oh, you're right, too, because there's young Francesca and all. From the anime, I totally forgot. Apologies, and I'm fine. Hello? You do have something more than your chores are sealed, don't you? Not really. We'll be fine. But got absolutely nothing. That's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room. Let's see if... Oh, what's this called? The Grid Escape Act? Okay. What? Okay. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Understand. That's understandable. Because it's all over if I don't. Hello? This calls for a no approach. Try to think outside the box. Or in this case, inside the box. What doozy that locked room is, too. Ah, gotcha. But yeah, he's got like a different approach for a lot of people, doesn't he? He does, Scott.
Well, Mr. Justice, you have anything that can counter the prosecutor's argument?
You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or the other. Another. That conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Time to do or die. Literally. Ah. Got it.
The defense will not explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room.
You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened? Fine. I just need to think this whole keeping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. If the killer has escaped, how could they have done it so? I say maybe because like I did do Trials and Tribulations when it was released, and then coming back to it, I had a different view. The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but isn't open wide enough for anyone to get through. And there's a sheer cliff outside. As for the earth vent, it's up too high and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. Why do they... All of a sudden I'm remembering the prosecutor from the Professor Layton Cross Phoenix Wright game. The ninth one. It was okay. Now we got the random conversations with prosecutors, alright? Like, I don't know why I thought about that one. Needless to say, the Forbidden Chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did. So that's it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was also... I said he was the interesting one. I mean, like, I remember him, like, just randomly there, like, I was just going for the prosecutor's mind, like, he's an interesting one. I wish I could remember. I need to also replay. Oh, yeah! I think it's almost called Constant, wasn't it? Or am I misremembering that? Yeah. That's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. Like I said, bits of it are coming back to me, but I just don't. I need to get back to play that. I think I still have my copy. We need to roll out all the absolutely impossible escape routes. The only numbers left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposed that the killer skip through here. Well, I'm glad I can see it. Oh, if I can figure out how to get my recording on my 3DS, I might do it.
Take that!
And how through here? Just... Oh crap! So skills seem as questionable as we're proposing an escape route. Look, I'm just gonna skip right now. And there's no skipping for your pelt. Skipping for your random. Yes, Mr. Justice. Okay. Oh. It is like there are things I remember that I enjoyed. Although I hate, for some reason, I hate a bread puzzle. Can I try that one again? I think this is
Take that!
okay. The hallway door. Yeah. Oh yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. Yeah. I'll need to dig things up. I'll need to see if I do have my copy and I also have to record my 3DS. Because if I can do both, I might do Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright at some point. Or if it gets randomly announced that it's going to the console, the other consoles with the 3DS shop and all gone. It appears you've already forgot. The only available key until Jinxie Tama came must seem was within that locked door. Oh, but then again... Yeah... I was with the same... Same here. I also kind of wish that at some point they did release the Edgeworth games as well. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and then lock without a key? I should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I could understand that the killer had exited the room with the key, but... Yeah. But if they were going to do it, I kind of hope they put all the extra story bits in. Really? Huh. I never really knew that. It was just this. Prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting, unless you explain yourself quickly. Oh, really? How far are you not, actually? How far are you not? Oh, he's ready. I'm fine. I can explain myself. Yeah, I double checked that there. Yeah, it's not that expensive. It's 4. Oh! I know the one you're thinking of now. I know the one you're talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where Ezra first meets Kay for a day. Like, young Kay for a day. Wait. Love it. Okay. I'm fine. I can explain it myself. The reason the Fox Chamber hallway door was locked because... Okay. Erk! Oh. Please tell me you did a certain cross-examination for that one, and I also got this wrong. Maybe Tama locked himself after the killer fled the scene? Just in case the killer decided to return? That would explain why the room was locked. Yes, I see. And again, wouldn't Mayor Tama have mentioned that himself? Okay. Maybe I slipped this mind because it uploaded his head. I've already considered and investigated such a possibility. You have? The mayor's fingerprints were not found on the door or doorknob. Even fingers found belonged to the alderman. Ergo, the mayor did not so much as touch the door. Oh, oops. Okay, then how about... Okay, I'm gonna see because I Ah. I'm getting a little sidetracked. As much as I want to play this one, I actually do want the points back. Or blocked it from the outside. Okay. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key for the hallway door and then... Oh! But yeah. There is definitely a lot of things a few things I do remember from the Edgeworth games. I do remember Case 4 not with a certain cross-examination, and I really don't want to mention it. But it was a fun one to do. There's Young Francisca. That's like Case 4 stuff. In terms of... Oh man. Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is a blatant contradiction of facts. Exiting the room before locking. I'm not mentioning it. That's why I'm not talking. I don't want. That's why I'm not mentioning it for certain things. I might be. Though, considering you're in Case 4, then I think the previous 3 are fine to talk about. Like seeing a certain, like a familiar face from in a costume in a theme park. In the third case, is there a room from like from car taking the key? It's that the key was found inside the room. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. Like the old back encounter in the theme park. Okay, yeah. I won't spoil the rest of it. I'll keep things. I'll keep the conversation limited. Oh. Oh yeah, right. Oh, and Barry Stars, didn't the Edgeworth 1 have Phoenix Red communes, or am I misremembering it? I think it was Kiss Free to hot them as well. I'll explain both. I know the second one had second Edgeworth game had it, but I don't remember if the first did. Like, how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from the outside? Oh, let's see if the defense can respond before Blackwell draws a sword. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so he's just okay. Yes, he's just ours. The cameo. Okay, thank you. How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Ah. Oh. I'm about to go dig up. Do some checking and stuff. We're in from the outside. Okay. What if someone threw it into the room from the outside? You know, something like go outside the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window. That would explain how the master key could be inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? There's a cliff outside the box chamber's window. Yeah, next time, because you don't want to spoil things, I cannot mention anything in regarding to the letter story. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Oh, right. I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window? Hmm. Oh, what do you think of lying? Actually, I forgot. What do you think of lying? Could have been tossed. Oh. I think so. The earth end? Yes. The window may be out of the question, but the earth end's not. Oh, that's right. The Fox Chamber's Earth Duct. It leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the Earth Duct from the Earth Duct from outside in the Fox Chamber. Then drop the key into the room for the vent inside the chamber. That's preposterous. Oh, that explains how the key got in there. I thought it was used to lock the door perfectly.
So Justice?
Okay.
Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused.
Don't worry. I'll explain it so even your honor can understand. First, the real killer, disguised as Tamataro, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then, they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the keys into the room for the air vent in the ceiling there. All that was left to do was to go back through the duct and flee the manor. Oh yeah, good. That's young Francisca too. That's what I was thinking. Like, yeah, that's young Francisca. Younger, older. Do you think she's older than the one in the anime? Obviously, younger than the one from Justice for All. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer?
Amazing! Even I can follow that.
The judge seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up as Tamataro. And there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Hey, looks like that lawyer had beaten that jail browser. Oh, that was a total turnabout. And as a forehead has seen he's so much attractive.
Order, 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 I say.
Now that I've proven a possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Silence.
Yeah. Balanced effort, Justice Dono. But your final thrust missed the mark. It's mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it had left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the ouch! But it is impossible. We've been spotted by the foyer security camera, that is. The electric eye here would have captured that any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there is no sign of Tamataro anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good.
Hold it!
Okay. Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. Someone's... Oh, right, with Gumshoe, right. It's possible to escape through the window door without being seen by a security camera. Hey, you're right.
Silence.
Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack natural brains, but investigating prowess to boot. There is a that is the cliff side of the manor. The only killer escaping that would be a dead one. No. Wait, so the killer didn't escape the foyer window? Oh yeah. What the heck, right? No. That was kind of like his weird point. Oh. Ha. I suppose your next proposal is the killer spread wings and flew into the sunset? That would mean the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Yeah. Who says we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might be. What? You're saying you can prove the killer could fly? So weird enough, need to remember some other. Yeah. Escher does have his moments of being in a Chromon. Oh, I thought I was on with the Church of Steel. Oh, wait, that was.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this!
Your Honor?
What evidence do you have that the killer flew away?
Take that!
This paper. Take a look at this special edition paper. Avatar, real or flight of fantasy? What does this article prove, Your Honor? Oh, the goal was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in that photo is the killer shortly after they fled out the window?
Justice? You're not seriously suggesting...
Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer disguised as Tamataro flew away, you know? By some way or another.
Silence.
It's your friend that's flown the coop. Well, I mean... Do we even bring the Galactica situation in here? I guess we best not. That image is not but trick photograph, right? Or some other form of artifact. Reading. Okay, then. How about the Tamataro figure Mr. Finch saw? It just flies into the air. No, there was a rational, common sense explanation for that. That Inferno Yokai, our Tanuki witness, never reached the entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. I realized. She? I don't like where this is going one bit. Nah, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it is likely either Mayor Damien Tema or his daughter Jinxie Tema. However, we knew that Mayor Tema was already unconscious at that time. Not good. Not good at all. You understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? Falsified yokai remnants. And the appearance of the Tamataro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tema. Oh, no!
Order! Order! The fans will stop competing for the greatest freak out ever!
I didn't know the Sears had a category for that. Although that actually now just begs the question, what's the best breakdown? I didn't even... Because clearly the defenses are fine, but the Woods just outshine them in every way, shape, or form. The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade.
Monsieur Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me! All more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out the window!
Did you truly believe this could end any other way? You fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Apollo? Our kiss no longer stands without a real yokai if he ever had one. Bailiff, seize her. It is time I interrogate her as the samurai of your wood. Hold it! Mayor Tema? This farce is over. How's it feel, seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? And Metaro's true identity is... Now, Mr. Mayor. It would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming around the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook her little yokai farce.
Confess? The defendant intends to confess?
Wait! Apollo! Oscar Blackwell's up to his mind games again. Here, damn it! No! Don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. The real killer is... Tama's going to confess unless we do something! But... I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away. Right. You could pull me in the spur. Or ripe is the time for my return. Huh? Uh-oh. I should watch what I wish for. Foolish mortals. I am Temataru, yokai you seek. Mayor Tema? Silence. I am Temataru, free from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Hail the return of the Demon King! What the? Demon King?
Well then, I think it's time for me to take a vacation! The witness will, he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Temataru, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time?
Indeed, it is I, Temataru, the one whom you seek. Come to reveal the truth. This child is Temataru, you say? Ha! What nonsense! So, Mayor Tema is a yokai now? But he is mine. How mine?
You're saying the Mayor Tema is being possessed by you? And that the yokai that Jinxie, Itama, and Philip Finch saw? And the one captured in the newspaper photo, those were all you?
The accursed power of these warding charms prevent me from revealing my true form. Your boldness? And this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt?
Well, a confession by yokai would be quite unprecedented.
Be that as it may, the defense case has been overturned. Huh? What? You claim the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer, the one who escaped from the locked fox chamber. But it was the accused all along. Ah! Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be a real in that manner of speaking. For the alderman's killers none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene. That too was Mayor Tenma, should I say, our dear Tematoro. The pieces have all fallen into place. I so Prosecutor Blackwell. It seems I'm a spell all for you. Mayor Tama killed the alderman in the Fox Chamber, which was locked at the time. Then he removed the warding charm from the Forbidden Chamber's door. But then fell unconscious with a blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter, Jinxie Tama, stumbled upon the scene of the crime. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tamataro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. A newly freed Tamataro then fled from the Fox Chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tama saw was her father possessed by Tamataro.
Objection!
But when we were at the scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How is that possible if he was supposed to have flown out the fire window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of Jinxie Tama was Tamataro? Oh. Ah! That too is easily explained. Blew about for a time I did, but presently tired, I made it to the Forbidden Chamber. But alas, the instruction took me unawares in the Fox Chamber, and I knew no more. Yeah, but seeing the pieces are in place. Are still in place. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again?
I don't know what to say. Is the defendant alive?
So the rumors about Mayor Tama's true? I knew yokais were real. I mean, he really did kill the alderman? Just so he could release Tamataro?
Order! Order!
Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. It's Simon Says on steroids. He wants to convict our clan any way he can, even if it means blaming the yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty, Your Baldness.
This is one of the most bizarre cases of my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
I'm going to not make another ready remark for...
Objection!
Mayor Tama is just pretending to be Tamataro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature.
Since both sides has raised a valid point, I have no choice but to...
Silence!
This is the dark age of the law, where the defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not be that you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning, Justice Dono.
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence.
Silence!
Then prove it by joining me. A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. A guilty verdict is all but... What's wrong with him?
Prosecutor Blackwell, we had enough of your hijinks.
Totally forgot he was here.
The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that.
What in the devil was that? Fulbright. Have you tampered with my shackles in some manner?
It seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device.
Each prince is a shocking reminder but to behave. I'll pay for this. I sound like a puppet.
Your Honor! You need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackwell will remain on his best behavior.
A bit late with the reassurance, aren't we, Detective?
Well, in that case, this concludes today's deliberation. Prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigation. This court is adjourned.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna actually wrap things up here. We're always doing these like input bits, so we'll wrap things up here. We'll do the investigation Friday. So we'll be back on this Friday, and we'll because we're gonna take this like step by step. So yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I'm actually debating what to do after this one because there's 2 trials cases we can do. The actual third episode or the special episode, because they both kind of fit the time frame. I'll debate about that in my own time. For now, I'm going to wrap things up here. Hope it's a good day. Hope it's a good week. We'll be back on this Friday. But that, I'll see you until next time. Bye. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.